This episode is brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. In breaking news, leading scientists worldwide are conducting experiments to determine if Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolate. However, it appears the study was inconclusive, as the scientists couldn't help but eat all the Reese's. Because when you want something sweet, you can't do better than Reese's. Find Reese's now at a store near you.
Hello, everyone. It's time for Vanishing Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanas. This is episode 336, season 14. Today's date is June 4th, 2024, and welcome to the program. On today's show, I'm going to talk about something unusual. It's my memories of two candy bars that were discontinued by the Nestle company. One was Choco'Lite, and the other one was the triple decker bar. So that's what it's called. And they were both delicious. I ate them both when I was a kid. And I will talk about my memories of that, their history. I tried to find as much information as I could about them. Also, I'll talk about a topic I've discussed before, but I'll talk about it again. It's the Three Sisters Women's Clothing Store that was in the Chicagoland area. I tried to dig up some information about them, their beginnings, but there is some. But I'll talk about my memories of that store. Okay. Right now, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Dust Furniture Polish. That's not one of my favorite household chores, dusting. I still haven't dusted my room because I've been so tired lately. So because of the medicine and medications, and now everything's settled down. Hopefully today could do that. So here's a commercial from 1974, and it takes place at a garage sale. Okay, so sit back and relax, and I'll be right back with the program, folks. Thank you.
Hey, you're missing my garage sale.
I'm still waxing.
You wax every week. You're going to drown your furniture.
It's the dust.
Well, use Endust.
Endust?
I'll be right over. Watch. Endust picks up the dust and leaves the old wax looking like new.
It really brightens, and it's faster than waxing.
My garage sale.
Endust for between waxings. Faster for you, good for your furniture.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Dust Furniture Polish. The commercial is from 1974. That product's still around. You can buy it anywhere. You buy it at Walmart, Target, Amazon, whatever. It's a good product. I use Pledge. That's been around for years and years and years. Remember they had regular, and now they had lemon, and I think they had now they have multi surface that does everything. Times have changed because you use that for fancy furniture to polish, like your coffee table, or your buffet, or your dining room table. Anywhere, anything that has wood, it's comes sparkling like that. Also, there were other ones. There was also called Behold. I don't know if it's still there. Maybe. Anyway, so Endust is still around, yeah. And then it came in lemon. Endust, when it was first introduced, it was just no scent. It's just plain like that. Okay. Okay, at the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about the two candy bars that were discontinued by the Nestle company. One was Choco'Lite, and the other one was the Triple Decker bar. Also, I'm going to talk about the Three Sisters women's clothing store that was in Chicago. Before I get started, I want to mention one thing. No health stories today. No. Yesterday, I went to the mall with my mom. She wanted new shoes. These days, she needs help. I mean, she because there's a mall nearby our house, but she wanted to go to one that's a little further, and I drove her there. And besides, so it was a nice morning, so I went with her. So we went to Orland Park, Orland Square Mall in Orland Park, and she went there, and she went to Macy's to find shoes. She didn't find anything. Macy's was Marshall Fields. Everyone knows that. It's not the same anymore. I did see the Frango mints, in the Marshall Field bags. We've seen that all over social media. Look kind of cool, but still disappointing because, we want that back. Anyway, she wanted to go to J.C. Penney's. We did go there, but first we went to Von Maur. That's based in Iowa, I think. And there's a few stores open in Chicago and area, and she's never been there. I've never been there, and I suggested to her, why don't we go there? Let's see if we can find some shoes, or you want to buy something else? She said, okay. We went there. Boy, was I amazed. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful store. It reminds me of Marshall Fields back in the day, like a long, long time ago. And it's a little elegant, more elegant than Macy's, and a little pricey, women's clothing, men's clothing. I didn't go to the lower level, or I don't know, I forgot which level. There was one level we didn't go. We didn't have time. And from what I understood, people told me they have a credit card, they have no interest, and they have free gift wrapping, which is kind of cool. That sounds like Marshall Fields back in the day. So my mom found some pair of shoes she liked. There was a salesman. He was very happy. He didn't. She had to put them on herself. He just stood on the cashier like that. But he was very helpful, and she bought them. We did. And once we were done, we wanted to go to the bathroom, and then we passed by the bathroom, and there's a guy playing the piano. And she's asking me, why is this guy playing the piano? And I told her, all the Von Maur stores play the piano. I heard Menards plays, too, and Mariano's. They have a guy playing the piano. But this was very nice. She found it unusual, but she liked it. Anyway, she loved the store. She really did. And she wants to go back. And I posted something yesterday. And she enjoyed it. We never had an opportunity. She never heard of it. I mean, that store was open about 5 years ago, and I told her once in a while, why don't we go there and take a look? Now she did. And now, yeah, we went there. So then we went to JCPenney's, bought another pair of shoes. It was fine. And then we went home. She was very happy. So that's great. That was retail is not dead in the malls. No. I saw quite a few people shopping. Yes, online's easy. I understand that, but it's not the same. Not with clothes. You got to put them on. You got to try them on. You got to put them on. Especially shoes. I would never order shoes online. Never, because my feet are strange. They're too wide and all that, and it's hard to find. With online, you got to order. They ship them to you. They don't fit. Then you got to put them back in a box, and you ship them back, and it's ridiculous. That way, you can get in your car and you go to the customer service and then just return them. I'd rather do it in person, with a sales clerk or an employee like that. So that's the way it should be. I hope it makes a comeback. I hope so. But I think it's starting to. I think this next generation is going to do that. They're sick of it. They're sick of the online. Yeah, I get it, but no, interpersonal. You want to talk like that, and it's great. It's wonderful. And besides, you need the exercise. You want to walk around. That's great, especially today. Especially when you're older, you want to do that, and you need movement. You got to move around. Especially my age. So hopefully, because the mall near my house at Chicago Ridge Mall, it needs anchor stores. Sears is gone. They have something there they're renting, but I think it's only temporary, but hopefully. But they opened a Burlington store. Thank God. I haven't gone there yet. My mother has, and she loved it. And hopefully more will open. I hope so. Just like I discussed about Wayfair up at Eden's Plaza in Wilmette. That goes to show you. There was a long line. I hope it stays in business. I hope so. Of course, in the Chicago Loop, that's a little tough. Hopefully we got to pray. We got to bring shopping, bring it to excitement. Forget about the past. Just focus on the future. We got to do that. Okay. All righty. Right now, I'm going to play a commercial for Choco'Lite. And when I come back, I'll talk about Choco'Lite, and then I'll play a commercial for the Triple Decker Bar, both from Nestle, from the Nestle company. Okay. And this commercial for Choco'Lite, I think it's about mid-70s, 73, 74, 75, around there. It's an animated commercial. You can find those on YouTube if you'd like. Okay, so I'll play it right now, and I'll come back and I'll discuss it. Okay, thank you.
Hey, I can feel it!
You never felt so good about chocolate, 'cause chocolate never felt as good as Choco'Lite. Creamy and smooth as a stream, a ride on a chocolate stream.
Nestle Choco'Lite, rich milk chocolate. Whipped up light so when it melts in your mouth it feels really smooth and creamy.
Smooth and creamy like a glide down a chocolate ice cream slide. Chocolate never felt as good as Choco'Lite.
I can feel it!
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Choco'Lite from Nestle. Let me describe this product. Okay, it's a candy bar, and it's kind of puffed, very light. It's all chocolate, it's like singular like that. It was first introduced in 1972. But before that, they had another brand of it, and it was called Bubble Milk Chocolate. They had another one like that, but that was in the UK. That was in the United Kingdom. Also, they had one called Nestle's Puffed Milk Chocolate. So I think it's the same. But that was in the 1950s, but I think they just reintroduced it, and then made it. Maybe they reformulated it, and then they changed the name and they called it Choco'Lite. Made it light, and I've had this product when I was a kid. It was delicious. I remember going to drugstores, or for example, Kresge's when I lived in Roseland. When we lived on Michigan Avenue, and I begged my mom, can I have a Choco'Lite? She bought it for me. I split it with my brother, or I had the whole thing. It was delicious. I would take a piece and just eat it slowly. That was so good. And it wasn't like a Nestle's Crunch, there's no crisp rice or anything like that. So it was good. It was very good. And I remember seeing them in school. People had them in their lunch boxes, and I believe they came in bite size too. Yeah. For Halloween, they did that. And so there are commercials on like that. But the thing is, it was puffed milk chocolate, but it had crispy chips. So I don't know if it was like Nestle's Crunch because they had crisp rice, or is it the same, or is it chips, or I don't know. I never did a comparison for that. No, I did not. So anyway, and then over the years they tweaked the wrapping and all that. And then when I moved to the Ashburn neighborhood in the mid '70s, I used to ride my bike going to Edwards Drugstore and also Crestline Drugs, or White Hen Pantry or 7-Eleven. They had them on display, and I bought them. Having a nice cold can of Pepsi, like that. So that was great. I love that. And then all of a sudden they discontinued about 10 years later, about 1982. That was the end of that. So I've been told there's a product that's similar to this. It's called Aero, and I think it's from the UK. And I said, all right, I guess so. I never seen it. I never tried it. So maybe it is. That's just like Marathon. The Marathon bar. They have one. It's called Curly Wurvy. I think Curly Wurvy. I don't know. I forgot what it was called, but it's made in England. I think it's Cadbury. They make it similar like that. But the Marathon bar was a classic. People still miss it. They want it back. I don't blame them. It was delicious. Another favorite of mine was Charleston Chew. I think it's still around. You used to put them in the freezer, and then you take them out and you smack it on the table and you eat them. And it came in a lot of flavors, just like Turkish taffy, which I discussed that in a previous podcast episode. Anyway, so Choco'Lite, I don't know if I'll come back. I hope so, but I don't think so. Anyway, right now I'm going to talk about the Nestle Triple Decker Bar. And after that, I'll play a commercial. Now, the Nestle Triple, this candy bar sounded very good. And I did have it when I was a kid, very, very young. So it consisted of 3 layers of chocolate. One was milk chocolate, white chocolate, and semi-sweet dark chocolate, like that in a Triple Decker bar. And I remember the commercials, and I've had it, like I said before, I've had it, and it was good, And first it was like a square, kind of, a little, not longer like that. And it was good like that. And then they changed the wrapping and the size of it. And then that was introduced like maybe in the 60s. Yeah, probably in the 60s, I believe. Then it lasted until like the mid 70s, and it was gone. And so I don't think we have something like that today. No, I don't think so. But there are candy bars that are a little more innovative, creative, like that. All right. Right now, I'm going to play a commercial of Nestle's Triple Decker Bar, and it features a familiar voice in the commercial. Once I play the commercial, when I return, I'll tell you who it is. Okay, and after that, I will start talking about the Three Sisters women's clothing store. Okay, so sit back and relax, and here's the commercial for Nestle's Triple Decker Bar. Thank you.
One day in Nestle's Chocolate Land, little Hans was hungry for a sandwich.
I was on my lunch hour.
And that's when he invented Nestle's Triple Decker Bar. He took a slice of dark chocolate, creamy white fudge, and a slice of milk chocolate, and made a sandwich. 3 layers, 3 times the flavor. And he called it...
Ham on a rye?
No, Nestle's Triple Decker Bar.
Oh, that's a good name, too. I'm glad I thought of it.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Nestle's Triple Decker Bar. The guy who's speaking, and there is actor Paul Frees. He did a lot of voice acting. He was in a lot of those Ratkin Bass cartoons from way back, like that. And he was also famous for his voice of Boris Badenov in Rocky and Bullwinkle. That's how he laughed. It was great. He was a wonderful man, like that. Anyway, right now I'll talk about Three Sisters. Trying to dig up some information about this place. I hope this is accurate. So you may correct me if you like. Later on you can comment once this episode is published. So here it is. Someone asking, where did the name of the Three Sisters come from? So they were part of a national chain. It was called the Miller Roll Company, based in Secaucus, New Jersey. And then at the time, they owned a lot of, about more than 50 retail stores over the years. And most of them were called Miller Roll. That's WOHL, like that. And the others were named by the Three Sisters. I don't know where the Three Sisters came from. But the sisters' names were Gina Cole, Lizzie B, and Anita. How about that? And what they sold was a lot of merchandise. Like, for example, they sold ready-to-wear dresses, coats, suits, hosiery, furs, millinery, which is hats, shoes, and furnishing goods. Like that. So mostly, I remember dresses a lot. And they came to the Chicagoland area. I don't know exactly when. Probably in the 40s or 50s, most likely that. I remember a few locations. One was at Madison and Pulaski, that's on the west side. They had a store there. There were one in the Little Village neighborhood, like 26th Street over there. I'm sure there were a few on the north side like that. And also there was one downtown, Michigan Avenue, and also on Michigan Avenue, it was on Michigan Avenue and State Street. And so you had two, which is great. Of course, and there was one on the south side. I'm sure there was one, a few in the neighborhoods like that. There was one in South Chicago on Commercial Avenue. I think my mother went there once, I think. But the one that I remember the most was the one that we lived in the Roseland neighborhood, was on Michigan Avenue on the corner of on East 112th Street and Michigan Avenue in Roseland, right across the street from Gately's People Store. And that store was beautiful because it was glass. In front there was glass, and there was like an island, and you would walk around in the middle, and they had mannequins in display, and they displayed all these beautiful women's clothing, this wardrobe like that. And you would walk around, and you would go inside. My mom loved that store. She really did. And she did buy a few dresses there. And what's funny about, the store was there probably a long, long time, maybe till the 70s. We moved out in 1974. I think it closed about around that time. Then the neighbor went into decline. But the funny thing is, the sign on the side of the building is still there. How about that? When you go to I think it's either, I'm trying to remember, is it in the back of the building or on the side of the building? I haven't been there in a long time, because I remember my father owned the building where we lived, and we used to get out by the alley, and we used to, drive there. Not drive, we walked over there, and we see the sign. I think it's still there. And, on Facebook, there's a Roseland group or a Southside group, and they discuss about Three Sisters, and they miss that store so much. A lot of people work there. They worked there when they were in high school. They would get a discount, which makes sense. You didn't see them in the malls. Not really. I didn't see them at Fort City or Evergreen Plaza. No, not really. I don't think so. So they were mostly in like retail areas, in commercial strips of the streets, like that. And so, A lot of people miss that place. It was one of the best clothing stores they ever shopped at. There were others like William A. Lewis. There was Evans Furrier. There was Rosa Lee. Oh, there were others. A lot of women shopped there, and they had good quality clothing. Like that. That's nice. It's very nice. And that was my memory of Three Sisters, and so I don't know when it closed. I don't know. I don't know exactly. So maybe it started from the East Coast like that, and luckily there's a few pictures. I have a couple photos of the Three Sisters in Roseland. One's black and white, so I would love to get a color one. I remember it was kind of like not turquoise, like aqua green color, like that. It had the white Three Sisters sign was white, very big, like that. So I remember we were waiting for the bus, 112th Street to go downtown. Like the Saw Suburban bus or the 34 Michigan bus to go to the Dan Ryan. There it was, So that's a good childhood memory. Oftentimes, my mother always asks I ask her about Three Sisters. And she always tells me about, I got some. She remembers the clothes she buys. She remembers this dress she bought. She remembers the shoe. I think they sold shoes. Probably not. Probably purses, like that. So that's great. That's great. So people in that area at the time did a lot of shopping, But there were other women's stores on there. There was like Gordon's, and I forgot. There was one more, and I can't. Oh, York. It was York. It was there, and there were others. Okay. So that's it for this show. It sounds disjointed, but it's fine. Okay, so yes, so this does for this show, and this program will be published later on today. You can find it. You can find my podcast wherever apps are available: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Overcast, Breaker. Also on my blog, www.vanchicagoland.blog. Also, again, my YouTube channel. People ask me, where do I find your podcast? I like to listen to your podcast. Go to YouTube, type in Pica Science or Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. You will find it. Click subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. There's no... just do that. Just follow, or subscribe. On the I think the apps you follow and the YouTube you click on subscribe. Also, be sure to my social media accounts: Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Reddit, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, also Threads. Okay, so that's good. Whew, that's kind of exhausting. So anyway, I will do another podcast this weekend. I probably will. Yes, we'll see. Give it some thought. Anyway, so this is Pico Stein, your host of Van Chicagoland Stories podcast. Thank you for joining me. Today is a nice day, kind of warm. I don't like hot weather. Yeah, no, not really. I'm gonna take it easy. So, like I said, this will be ready this afternoon, and you can listen anywhere in your car. You can listen in your car. You can listen on your computer, your tablet, your phone, whatever device you have. Okay? All right. So thank you for joining me today, and here's bye-bye for me, and here's a little traveling music with Ray Rayner saying bye-bye-bye. Take care, everyone, and so long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.